I was playing Gears of War 3 today. I always play Team Deathmatch online, so I joined a quick match and was almost instantly tossed into a full team of locusts on Old Town. I managed to get in quite early, so the score was still only 13-10, Locust Cog. I got lucky and got put on the Locust side as the ever-so-awesome Thrash Foil drone. I charged around with the Nasher and was particularly on my game this match, which was awesome since lately I've been in a pretty bad slump. I smoked the COG team, jibbing player after player in Nasher battle after Nasher battle. I rarely ever do this, so naturally I was particularly excited. I ended up the first round with a 9-0 record, so I was pumped for the second round. The second round began with a bang. I rushed to the boomshot spawn and managed to acquire the weapon, but shortly after I was killed by a COG player with the torque bow. I remember his name, which I guess I can't use here. So I made it a point, as I always do, to get my Swiss Vengeance medal by hunting him down. I charged for the boomshot spawn, and you guessed it, the genius was standing there by the spawn with his gun hard aimed at the ground. He hears me coming and turns around, but I managed to jib him with my Nasher before he can get the torque bow primed, and he rage quit instantly. Here's where it got a little weirder. One day I won in quick session. Players on both sides began dropping out. The score was 5-7 Locust Cog, so I don't understand why everyone simply bailed so quickly after the first player left. So it was just me and the bots. Normally I get bored as heck during bot matches and would leave, but these bots were particularly aggressive, so I decided to go for it and hope more players would join. No players did, and one by one, COG was whirled down to 3 bots left: Baird, Bernie, and Hoffman. For some reason, these 3 bots were camped near the boomshot spawn and were whoring the boomshot in the Scorcher that spawns up north. Any time for me or one of my bot teammates got near the side of the map, we got smoked. Pretty tough for bots, I thought. Well, the Locust team got cut to at least 5 players and the rest of the match had gone. My bot teammates charged toward the boomshot spawn pretty hastily. 3 of the bots were smoked, while another approached Baird. I went with that bot and used a distraction. I managed to jib Baird from his side as Baird downed my teammate bot with the Scorcher. I went to pick up my teammate, but Bernie charged me and almost instantly. In a split-second reaction, I bounced off a nearby wall and attempted to shoot the Bernie bot, but we traded Nasher kills, which I rarely ever see with bots. Great, Hoffman and my teammate. Great, it was Hoffman and my down teammate. I switched to the ghost cam and tried to find out where Hoffman was. Go figure, he was dashing toward my teammate. My teammate happens to get up just 5 seconds before Hoffman arrived, but somehow Hoffman flanked the dang thing and downed it with a retro launcher. Normally, a bot will approach and execute a downed player or bot at the end of the match. This time, it didn't. Hoffman stood over the Locust, as if to watch it suffer, aiming the gun toward the floor in an almost robotic fashion. As you would know, Gears bots do if you ever watched the ghost cam. This is when the glitch kicked in. Most of you probably know how on Gridlock you can trigger a special Easter egg that plays the instrumental version of the song Mad World. This kind of occurred, as only the first 2 piano notes of Mad World played, and then distinctively cut off, followed by 2 or 3 seconds of silence, and a repeat of my teammate should have gotten up after a few seconds, but he didn't. He just kept crawling against the corner of the walls, bleeding out, while Hoffman stood over him. After a few seconds, but he didn't. He just kept crawling against the corner of the walls, bleeding out, while Hoffman stood over him. After about 3 passes of the piano notes and silence, a strange sound started playing. It sounded like it was a human, so I zoomed in on Hoffman and the bot. Hoffman was crying. Though like Mad World, it was a very crappy sounding clip. It certainly sounded like Hoffman's voice weeping for a couple of seconds, then cutting off immediately and replaying. As this crying began, Hoffman stood the ground and pound execution on the Locust. As I waited for Hoffman to smash my teammate's face in, Hoffman kept punching him. I zoomed in to get a better look, and the execution went on. Hoffman must have punched the locust 20 or so times more than normal, then immediately walked away, the locust dead bodying, and as the execution went on, the locust was still flailing, and punching sounds kept going. This is where it took a turn for the worse. Hoffman approaching the freaking ghost cam. He didn't jog by, he didn't walk around aimlessly, he approached my freaking ghost cam. With this crying sound still playing, I stared directly into the cam, and noticed his mouth moving. Though it didn't seem to match up with the crying, I backed the camera away from Hoffman, and he charged to meet me face to face again. I moved again, and so did Hoffman. He followed my ghost cam all the way down the tunnel by the locust spawn, and drew a bolt-lock pistol from his side. It seemed Hoffman was trying to aim up towards his forearm only, but since there is apparently no animation for it, the arm began flinching around in a glitchy fashion. From what I could tell, he was trying to aim it up at his own face. Soon after, Hoffman's sound files from the Anvil Gate Act, from the campaign God Dang It and Bernie in quick succession. I guess from God Dang It Phoenix, and from the times he mentioned Bernie's name, to gun fired. The head pop animation occurred as it usually does for headshots on gears. Then, just like the campaign, the red objective failed screen came up with the crimson omen abruptly appeared before Hoffman's body even had time to hit the ground. Needless to say, I'm about to ruin my pants. I turned off Gears of War. What the heck is this? Some glitch? Has anyone else experienced this?